All right, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, another everyday NBA update. Last night, only 5 games, Sunday schedule, but a lot of stuff happens. We're going to talk about it all here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn on notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really upset a lot. Join the membership. If you want to learn more about the membership, there's a video on my channel explaining all of it. You can go back and watch that. Links to my Twitters, all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So we're going to start with the Pacers and the 76ers. This was a very wild game to start and to end, actually. But the Sixers end up getting the win 118 to 114. They get their first win of the season, go to 1-2, while Indiana also drops to 1-2. This game, very close in the first quarter. You know, Tyrese Halliburton came out aggressive, who he's been kind of struggling. Second quarter, though, Indiana jumps out to a big lead. You know, Indiana has a really good second quarter. Everybody gets involved. Philadelphia can't make any shots. And the Pacers going to halftime with a pretty decent 6-point lead. But then Tyrese Maxey wakes up. Tyrese Maxey drops 14 points in the third after having a very rough first half, only dropping 7. 14 in the third quarter to bring this team all the way back from the dead. Well, not the dead, but they did not look very good. He has a big third quarter and then follows it up with 14 more in the fourth quarter. Drops 28 in the second half. And late in this game, you know, he made a bunch of free throws. Kelly Oubre made a big shot. Caleb Martin made a big layup to give him the lead. Indiana was missing a lot of easy shots. But then Tyrese Halliburton hits a three-pointer with 3 seconds left to tie the game, and we send it into overtime. And overtime, very back and forth to start. A lot of missed free throws. Tyrese Maxey hit a layup with 20 seconds left to give him a 3-point lead. And then later, we saw the new rule take place where now, you know, in replays, when the refs go to replay and watch the out of bounds call, they can also now look and draw and call for fouls they want. So first, Tyrese Maxey looked like he blocked an Andrew Nembhard layup and he sent it out of bounds off Nembhard, but then they look at it and they call a foul on Maxey on Nembhard. That's actually twice. It happened also, I think it happened in the fourth quarter in this game, I think, where I forgot exactly what it was, but I think it happened also again in this game earlier. But yeah, so Nembhard goes to the free throw line, makes 1 of 2. It's a 2-point game. They come in, Kelly Oubre gets intentionally fouled. He misses a free throw, makes a second to make it a 3-point game. And then the Sixers this time, instead of letting, like last time in the fourth quarter where they didn't foul and Tyrese Halliburton hit a 3-pointer to send the game to overtime. Instead, they foul. They foul Aaron Nesmith. He makes 2 free throws. It's a 1-point game. Maxey gets fouled. Maxey misses the first, makes the second. It's a 2-point game with 9 seconds left. The Pacers come down, and Caleb Martin pulls a crazy move where Caleb Martin intentionally fouls Tyrese Halliburton because he thinks the Sixers are up 3 when they're really up 2. And you saw right away, Caleb Martin looked at the bench. Everyone on the bench was like, "What are you doing?" And then he looked up at the score and was like, "Oh man, very tough move." And if Halliburton makes those 2 free throws and the game goes to double overtime, that's a lot on Caleb Martin. You know, got to know time and score. But they get lucky. Halliburton misses the first free throw, tries to miss the second one on purpose, doesn't go. Maxey gets the rebound, or Maxey gets the ball, makes 2 free throws. The Sixers end up winning this game 118-114. Very crazy late game execution on both sides. A lot of missed free throws, but the Sixers end up prevailing. Tyrese Maxey, what a game. 45, 4-4. Dropped 28 in the second half, and then 10 points in overtime. 38 points in the last 3 quarters, 3.5 quarters, basically. Just an amazing performance. The way he's become a pure bucket getter, man. Like, he's a guy that you just can't really stop from anywhere. You know, he can get, what he can do from 3-point line. Even though he did shoot tough from 3, he hit big threes when it mattered. He can get to the free throw line. He can score in the mid range. His speed, he can get to the basket and finish with the best of them. Like, he's a pure bucket getter, man. And so far this year, he's taken a lot of the numbers don't look great in terms of efficiency because he's got to take 30 shots a game because of this team. But he was amazing. Caleb Martin, 17 and 12, had a really solid game. Kelly Oubre had 14. Andre Drummond was really good on the defensive end. And, of course, he had 17 rebounds. Eric Gordon gave him 15 off the bench, some solid minutes. The team took 31 free throws, made 74% of them. You know, they dominated on the glass, 54-37. They had 20 offensive rebounds in this game. That is absolutely huge for this team. And, forced 20 turnovers, even though they also had 20 turnovers. But winning the rebounding battle and just hitting your free throws when it mattered. You know, they hit their free throws when it mattered, and That's how the Sixers win this game. For the Indiana Pacers, tough loss. Tyrese Halliburton did look a lot better than the first two games. 22 points, 8 for 18, hit 4 threes. That could be a wake-up call for him. Pascal at 17, 5, and 6. Wasn't really aggressive in the second half of this game. Like, I was honestly getting, and it's funny, the Pacers commentator were saying this too, but it was kind of like frustrating even at some points because Pascal Siakam had Eric Gordon guarding him. And Siakam would just like take 1, 2 dribbles and pass it back out to Halliburton, pass it back out to Nembhard, and not really go at him. I was like, bro, go at him. Like, he's Eric Gordon, you're Pascal Siakam in 2024. Go at him. I would like to see. I think if Pascal gets the ball a little bit more in that half court setting in that paint, they probably are a lot better off. Miles Turner had 14 points in this game. Obi Toppin gave him 15 off the bench. Andrew Nembhard and Aaron Nesmith both had 10 points. Gave us good minutes. But yeah, I mean, you're going to dominate on the glass like that. Pascal Siakam only took 11 shots in this game. I feel like he should have took a lot more, especially with Eric Gordon guarding him. And free throws. They missed 11 free throws in this game. In a game that came down to, the wire in overtime. Got to make your free throws. But this is a very good game. Shout out to the Sixers, to Tyrese Maxey for getting them a W. Indiana just has to go back and just kind of work on the little things and figure things out a little bit on the offensive end, I think. Next, we have the Pelicans and Blazers playing for the second time already this season, and Portland ends up winning this game 125-103. They get their first win of the season. They go to 1-2. New Orleans drops to 2-1, their first loss of the year. The last game that they played, this similar first half where Portland was up and New Orleans just had a really tough shooting first half. But instead of what happened last game, the Pelicans found a way back. Portland kept the foot on the necks, and New Orleans just could not find anything consistent on the offensive end, really. And Portland played a really good game. Look at the numbers. They won in every category. Field goal percentage, 46%, 43%. Three-point percentage, they hit 14 threes, shot 40%. The Pelicans hit 8 threes, shot 27%. Got to the free throw line more, 32-24. Shot 78%, New Orleans 79%. So they lost that battle, I guess, technically. Rebounding, won that battle 51-39. 22 offensive rebounds for them. They won the assist battle by 1. Won the turnover battle, forced 17 turnovers. They just won in every single category. They won for the Blazers. Jeremy Grant had another good game, 28-5, 4 blocks, shot 9 for 17. Anthony Simons had a great game, 27 points, hit 5 threes. In that third quarter, really just put them away with a bunch of shots. DeAndre Ayton gave him 17 and 12. Tawani Kamara gave him good minutes with 12 points. He was a plus 18. Danny Avdija had 11, 6, and 3. Scoot Henderson had 9. He was a plus 20 off the bench, 9, 5, and 7. Donovan Clingan getting good minutes, 9 and 9 in just 13 minutes. He was a plus 6. Like, Portland played a really good all-around complete game. So shout out to the Blazers. Defensively they were there. Bringing a lot of energy on that end, and offensively executing thanks to their, vets and Jeremy Grant and Anthony Simons. A good game. For New Orleans, the offense, the offense looks really bad right now through 2 games. Zion Williamson is shooting 26% from the field in 2 games, which is not something I think you've ever seen for Zion Williamson. But yeah, he's 3 for 12. I mean, he's getting to the free throw line. He's getting to the free throw line and making his free throws, but he's got to be better. He's got to be better. Brandon Ingram, 7 for 17, 14 and 6. Herb Jones, I feel like, hasn't really been super aggressive so far throughout the first couple games. I feel like he hasn't really been involved in the offensive end. CJ had a really good game, 27, I guess. He was trying. Jordan Hawkins has been good with 17 points. But, with no DeJounte, it just kind of feels like the Pelicans are just kind of trying to figure something. It's been either, all right, Zion, do your thing, or Brandon Ingram, do your thing. It feels like Herb Jones or other guys haven't really been getting involved in the offense. Like, I don't know. They just need to involve them more, and they got to start hitting their threes. I mean, 8 for 29 from 3, 27%. Their last game against Portland, I don't know what they shot from 3, but it was not good either. They just haven't been able to get their threes to fall. And that's also because, Trey Murphy isn't out there. DeJounte Murray, who's been a decent 3-point shooter, is not out there. They're relying on Jose Alvarado, Javonte Green, and Daniel Tice and them to be their spacers. So I that's not going to go super, super well. But yeah, the Moors just has to wake up a little bit, get better. They're 2-1, but it hasn't been a pretty 2-1. And yeah, shout out to the Blazers for playing a really good game, man. Gotta give credit to them. Next, we go to Bucks and Nets. The Nets end up getting their first win of the season as well. They beat Milwaukee 115-102. Both teams now go to 1-2. Brooklyn putting it on the Bucks. The three ball was falling. Free throw line, they're getting to there and knocking it down, making big plays when it mattered, making big defensive plays when it mattered. And yeah, for Brooklyn, Cam Thomas, 32 points, 10 for 21 shooting. I love watching Cam Thomas get buckets, but yeah, he's been great. Dennis Schroeder had a really good game as well, 29 and 6 assists, 5 threes. He was a plus 27 in this game. Dennis Schroeder, the last two games, honestly, have been really, really good. Then get Cam Johnson gave you 16. Noah Clowney gave him some decent minutes with 13 points off the bench. Nick Claxton gave him good minutes with 10 points and 11 rebounds. He was a plus 23 in this game. The reserves really came in for Brooklyn and was doing their thing. Like the four, like Nick Claxton was a plus 23. Noah Clowney was a plus 18. Zaire Williams a plus 15. Jalen Wilson a plus 5. Like those guys really came in and were the difference as Milwaukee's bench was Bobby Portis minus 21. By Connaughton minus 14. Delon Wright minus 13. So the others outperforming for Brooklyn, which is not something I think are going to say often this season. But yeah, Brooklyn played a good game. 35% from the three, 91% from the free throw line. Won the rebounding battle, especially in the offensive end. They won that battle 12-7. Won the assist battle. Forced 18 turnovers in this game. So great game from the Brooklyn Nets. For the Bucks, it's only been 3 games, so I'm definitely overreacting. I'm actually gonna make a video tomorrow. Oh no, not tomorrow, but on Wednesday, overreacting to the first week of the NBA season. But the Bucks, I don't love what I'm watching from the Milwaukee Bucks right now. I don't like it a lot. They look kind of the same as last year. The others aren't really doing much. They're letting other teams just shoot the threes, which is something that back when they won their championship, back in those days, they were a team that were liable to be like, you know what, go ahead, take 53s. But we know that we have Giannis, who's going to score a lot of twos, and you're going to have to keep up. You're going to have to hit 22 threes if you want to beat us. And also, though, if that is working, we have perimeter defenders as well to kind of mess you up with that. So if you are hitting threes, now we're like, all right, we got Jrue Holiday, Chris Middleton, we got Gary Snell, like we got defenders like that. The Bucks are trying to run that same thing this year, but they don't have the defenders for it. The perimeter defense is bad. They're letting teams just light up from three. I mean, the Bulls hit 22 threes on them. The Nets hit 16 threes on them. Like, they're letting teams fly from three. And I don't know, like, you look at the box score, and you're like, okay, Bobby Portis gave you 16 and 10, Brook Lopez gave you 15. But when you're watching the game, it feels like they can't do anything without Giannis and Dame. Like, it feels like if Giannis and Dame don't have the ball in their hands, nothing is going to happen for this team. Like, there's so many times, especially with that bench unit, or DeLon Wright, Pat Connaughton, AJ Green, like, so many times where they get the ball, take like 2-3 dribbles, pick it up, and are immediately like searching for Giannis. Where's Giannis? Where's Giannis? Like panicking, trying to find where Giannis is on the court. Like, it feels like, I mean, Taurean Prince hit 1 shot in 33 minutes, didn't really do anything. Gary Trent hit a couple shots, I guess, but he also had 4 fouls. Bobby Portis had 16 to 10. Yeah, cool. But then, like, it's just the Bucks they just don't right now. 3 games into the season, I'm gonna harp more on this when I do that video on Wednesday. Right now, they don't look like contenders right now. Just for me personally, they don't look like championship contenders right now. Things have to get better. They got to start playing defense. The others have to start contributing in some way. It's tough. It's bad right now for the Bucks. I mean, that's 2 bad losses in a row for the Bulls and the Nets, 2 teams that aren't gonna sniff the play-in. So yeah, tough for the Bucks, but shout out to the Brooklyn Nets for getting their first W. Next, we go to Hawks and Thunder. Thunder ended up getting this win, 128-104. They go to 3-0. Atlanta had their first loss of the season. This actually was a really good game for the first 3 quarters. Atlanta was really keeping in, sticking in there. Trae Young had a really good first half, gave you 15 points. The defense was really solid from Atlanta as well. Thunder missing a lot of free throws, losing the rebounding battle. Like, it was really good. In the third quarter, same thing. It was really tight. Both teams both teams were playing good offensively. It was a really good battle. And you're like, dang, is Atlanta really like this? We get to the fourth, and OKC, specifically Chet Holmgren and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander say, all right, let's end this right now. Shai drops 13 in that quarter. Chet has 7 points and 4 blocks in the fourth quarter. They only give up 18 points. The Hawks shoot 6 for 20 from the field, don't make a 3-pointer in the fourth quarter, and OKC rides that to a victory. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 35, 11, and 9, 3 steals, 3 blocks. He was a plus 24. Phenomenal game, especially that fourth quarter. Phenomenal game from Shai. Chet Holmgren, 25, 9, and 4, 6 blocks, 3 3-pointers, plus 19. Phenomenal game. Those two, as a duo, are one of the best duos in the NBA. I mean, those two were. You watched the game last night, you're going to see that those two should be locks in the All Star game. Those two are going to be in the All Star game. They're one of the best duos in the league because those two are absolutely ridiculous. Chet Holmgren defensively, man, is crazy. It's crazy. Like he does so much. He covers so much ground. He is a great rim protector. He moves his feet. Like he just knows where to be on the defensive end all the time, and it works. You know, J-Dub had a really solid game as well, 29 and 5. Lou Dort gave him 16 points, had a couple 3-pointers. The team shot 40% from three in this game, even though they did lose on the glass. They also forced 20 turnovers in this game, so combat that. And then we have Shai and Chet. I mean, those two, again, phenomenal. For Atlanta, this was a good game until the fourth quarter. You know, OKC really just shut him down in that fourth quarter. Trey had a good game, 24 points, 8 assists. You know, Onyeka Kamu gave you 14. Christian Matthews hit a couple threes off the bench. Zachary Rasashe got his first start, gave you 13 and 6, hit 6 for 12 from the field. You know, yeah, Jalen Johnson's been struggling to shoot so far this season. 7 points, another 3 for 13 performance so far in 3 games. He's shooting 29%, 20% from three, 58% from the free throw line. So he's going to have to get himself going at some point because he is their second best player. You know, Destin Daniels was a minus 25, 3 for 11, 0 for 4 from three. Tough for him, you know, but we understand he's going to be a streaky shooter. But yeah, the team shot 39% from the field, 32% from three. They have a lot of injuries right now, too. I mean, Bogdan Bogdanovic and DeAndre Hunter are both out. DeAndre Hunter had a really good game. He was a starter. Bogdan Bogdanovic is one of the better six-man. So, yeah, those two are out. Got to get those guys back. That's a bunch of offense right there. But OKC Thunder, shown why they're one of the best teams in the league, dominating on the defensive end and offensively. When you have the talent that they have, it's gonna be tough to lose. It's gonna be very tough to lose. And the final game we had on this Sunday night, Clippers Warriors. Clippers end up winning this game 112-104. They go to 2-1. The Warriors suffered their first loss of the season. They go to 2-1. This was a very good game all around. You know, very tight game. Clippers just felt like every time the Warriors had a run in them, the Clippers just said, "Stop that." You know, and hit some big shots, and a good win from them. Zubac 23, 18 and 6. Vitor Zubac has been amazing to start this season. I mean, he's averaging 20 and 10, right? Yeah, 22 points, 14 boards, 4 assists, 59% from the field. He's been phenomenal to start this season, man. I mean, if they're getting production like this from him, and he's working like this, he could be a consistent 20-point per game guy. I mean, jeez. Like, this has been incredible, you know. James Harden, 23, 7, and 11. You know, had a rough shooting night, 6 for 19, 2 for 12 from 3. But still getting other people involved. And when they needed to hit the shots, he hit them shots. Norman Powell, another good game, 20 points. He's been good. I mean, it's been Zubac and Norman Powell, man. Zubac and Norman Powell have made this team look a whole lot better than what they probably should be. Like, those two have been great to start this year. Zubac scoring in the paint, being consistent rebounding threat, and scoring inside. Norman Powell just being a sharpshooter, and whenever they need something to go offensively, just give it to Norm, and he'll find a way, you know? And then also getting production from Derrick Jones last night, 18 points. He hit 3 3-pointers. So, yeah, I mean, the team, they didn't shoot super well, especially from three. They only shot 31%. They're 10 for 32. But, I mean, Zubac, Norm, carrying them, and then James Harden being James Harden. You know, they also forced 21 turnovers, this team, which is really big. When for Golden State, Steph fortunately gets injured in this game. He tweaks his ankle a little bit, goes to the bench, comes back in, tweaks it again, goes back to the locker room, 18 points in 26 minutes. You just really hope that it's not a serious injury, you know, because without Steph on this court, tank the season for the Warriors, you know. But Andrew Wiggins, 29 points, 11 15, 5 threes. He looked really good last night. And so far through the first 3 games, he's looked pretty good. I'm giving you 19 points per game so far in 3 games. I'm 58% shooting from three and 55% from the field. So, is Andrew Wiggins back? Maybe. We got to see more, but maybe Andrew Wiggins might be back. Kuminga, 12 points. He had a tough shooting night, 4 for 10. Buddy Hield was 3 for 14, 1 for 9 from 3. That's a Buddy Hield experience. Kevon Looney gave him solid minutes, but then after that, yeah, Draymond, 2, 5, and 2 in 26 minutes. Tristan Davis only played 15 minutes. Prepojemski didn't really do much in his 24 minutes. Yeah, they missed 8 free throws in this game, 21 turnovers. Just a tough night for the Warriors. You know, weren't as sharp as they have been in the first 2 games. And then, of course, when you got Steph not being able to play on the court, it's going to be tough for them to win. But shout out to the Clippers, man. They've been a lot better than expected. You know, and a lot of that is credit thanks to Zubac and Norman Powell stepping up and giving them some really, really good production. And yeah, that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.